Hi there, I'm August Cedarstrand from Edelbrock, and we're here today to talk about our eTuner software to set up your ProFlow 3 fuel injection system. Turn on your tablet. You're going to see the Fast E, as we call it, the Edelbrock E for the eTuner app software that comes with ProFlow 3. Hit that button. This is the initial opening screen. Edelbrock eTuner. Hit the ProFlow 3. Here is your main home screen. This is where everything happens on the home screen. This is the base, or it will go home every time you hit the little home icon, the little house icon that'll be down here on every screen if you need to. Now, two things you need to know about this. There's a little engine silhouette up in the upper right-hand corner. If it has a red X through it, that means it is not communicating with the ECM or the controller in ProFlow 3. If it has a green check mark, that means it's hooked up and it's talking to it. Also, you're going to see a little round white dot with a question mark in it. If you have any doubt as to what you're doing on any screen, press that and we give a detailed, simple explanation of what we're trying to accomplish on that screen. For the demonstration purposes here, I'm going to go into demo mode, and what that allows me to do is run through the whole setup wizard without having to be connected to the car. How do I set it up? The first thing you do is hit Setup Wizard. With Setup Wizard, this is the guide that's going to show you step by step in selecting and loading the correct base calibration based on the information you're going to put in here. Very simple. Let's start the wizard. Here's the first screen. Cubic inch displacement. How big is my engine? This program will range from 280 cubic inches up into the high 500 cubic inches. For our demonstration, hey, let's have it as a 350. Next, camshaft. We're going to select the appropriate camshaft profile for the engine configuration, meaning look at your cam card that came with the engine. What's our degrees of duration at 50 thousandths on the cam card? Say our engine is a small block Chevy 350 with a Performer cam in it. Hey, that's more like stock. It's 210 degrees or less. But hey, you can go 210 to 230 or 230 or greater degrees duration at 50, depending on the camshaft in your engine. And you would select the appropriate icon. Next is the fuel system. When we select the fuel system icon, it's asking us, hey, what's the PSI? What's the fuel pump pressure that we're running here? All right, now hopefully you went and bought an Edelbrock remote adjustable fuel sump that we have, and you'd set it at 43 PSI because hey, that's good up to 525 horsepower with this. Or if we need more, hey, and you have a different system, you go to 58 and you're good to 625 horsepower. Next, we're going to continue to the next step. What fuel injectors came with your ProFlow 3 system? Now you go check the part number. It's going to tell you, hey, your system has 29 or 35 pound-per-hour injectors. Ours, for our demonstration, is 29. Next, what's the intake manifold? We have two intake manifolds for ProFlow 3. One is a standard style, or 4150 square bore flange manifold, or the other is our ProFlow XT manifold. For our application, we're using the 4150 manifold, so we'll keep that selected. Hit the button. Now, at this point, we have successfully calibrated the software, and it's chosen the base map that we have already pre-installed in the software that it's going to start the engine with. At this point, you turn the ignition key off for 10 seconds, and then back on, and then press OK when you're done. Now we're going to prepare to start the engine. Now, very important at this point that all the remaining steps from here out are done at idle. We don't need your kids in there playing with the gas pedal while you're doing this, or your buddy standing there rapping the throttle with the throttle blades. We don't need that. At this point, this is where you're going to need your timing light and a screwdriver. So press to continue. Now, start the engine. It's going to fire up, and now we're going to set base timing. We're going to start the engine, we're going to adjust the distributor to 12 degrees bottom dead center with the timing light. We're going to tighten down that distributor clamp and press unlock timing. Warm the engine up to 170 degrees. Once the engine has reached 107 degrees on our coolant icon here, we can move on to the next step. Here at the idle target, we can adjust our idle target values. What do you want the engine to idle at when you're sitting there in neutral or in park? We can go from 500 to 2,000 RPM in 25 degree increments. Hey, I want my car to idle at 650 RPM. Done. Next, we're going to adjust the idle screw with the engine in neutral. So now we're going to calibrate the TPS sensor. Bingo. when we calibrate the TPS sensor, the engine should be idling and up to temperature. We're not going to rev the engine. We're not going to touch the gas pedal. We're going to press the TPS icon to start calibration. Now, if it's successfully calibrated, you're going to read 10% throttle at idle RPM. At that point, press the TPS button. Congratulations, you have completed the setup wizard. You're now ready to drive the car. You hit finish, go out and enjoy driving your car with ProFlow 3. And the more you drive it, the more it's going to learn. It never stops learning because it's self-learning, self-tuning software. As you can see by our demonstration, the software is incredibly easy to set up. So the E in eTuner software does mean easy. For any other questions regarding ProFlow 3 or more information, go to our website at edelbrock.com or give us a call at the tech department. We'll see you next time.